I'm Dr. Lora Shahine. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to talk about where to do egg freezing. I'm Dr. Lora Shahine. I'm a reproductive endocrinologist helping people build families, freeze eggs, preserve their fertility for over 15 years. And today I want you to think about where to do your egg freezing. I talk about egg freezing every day. It's a really common thing that people are coming to talk to me about, whether it's a fertility checkup or they're just curious, should I freeze my eggs? When should I freeze my eggs? How many eggs should I freeze? It's incredible that we have access to this technology, but that doesn't mean that everybody needs to do it. It doesn't mean everybody does it. And then certainly it's important to really educate yourself on, if you decide to do it, choosing the right place to do it. Egg freezing is a relatively new technology. It might feel like everybody's freezing their eggs. It's on the cover of People magazine and celebrities kind of talk about it. Your friends might be talking about it. There certainly are egg freezing parties where people are talking about it and learning more about it, but it's relatively new. So IVF has been around for over 40 years. The first IVF baby was born in England in 1978. We've been freezing embryos for as long as we've been doing IVF. We've been freezing sperm even before that, but egg freezing was hard. It was really hard to figure out that technology, and it took us time. Yes, the first pregnancy from a frozen egg happened in 1986, but it is certainly relatively new, and it is only in the last 5 years really become as widespread and as sort of common as it is today. And we need to remember that a lot of people who have frozen their eggs have not come back to use them yet. And it took years for embryologists and scientists to really get it to the success that it is today, but it is still relatively new. And so when you're thinking about where to freeze your eggs, you want to ask some questions of the clinic and really do your research, because anyone can say that they can freeze eggs. An egg freezing cycle is really just the first half of an IVF cycle. You're stimulating the ovaries, you're getting the eggs out, and you're freezing them. But it's not until you go to use eggs in the future that sometimes not all of them thaw, sometimes they don't fertilize, sometimes they don't make it to mature embryos we call blastocysts, and certainly not every embryo is going to be a baby. Doing your work, asking questions, advocating for your care, and choosing the right clinic is extremely important. So when you're having that consult with your doctor and you're thinking about doing egg freezing at a particular clinic, ask about their experience. How many egg freezing cycles do they do? How long have they been doing egg freezing? Make sure that they're doing vitrification. There's different types of freezing. There's slow freezing and vitrification. The vast majority of labs are going to be doing vitrification these days, but that was not the case over 5 years ago. You want to know, what is their thaw success rate? What is their fertilization rate with frozen eggs? How many live births have they had? There are a lot of clinics out there that will freeze eggs, but if you ask them, they'll say, oh, well, we haven't actually thawed any yet, or we only freeze the eggs, but then if you want to actually use them later, we'll help you find a lab close to you that can then thaw and fertilize and create the embryos and do the transfer. So that might be okay, and that might be right for you, but that is really like an unknown entity. And you're really putting your fertility and maybe even decision-making about your career and about your family building in the hands of this clinic and this IVF lab. And so ask these questions. In this process, it's so important to advocate for your care. And not every IVF lab really focuses on egg freezing. And so this is such an important part of your future. It's okay to ask these questions. It shouldn't be threatening, to the doctor that you're asking or the clinic that you're asking these questions. And so if they're giving you pushback and saying like, oh, you should just trust us, everything's going to be okay, that might be a little bit of a red flag. So when patients ask me, I'm not intimidated by these questions. I'm grateful that patients are advocating for their care and asking questions. And I'm so fortunate to be able to answer. Honestly, I am confident in my IVF lab. I have incredible lab directors that have been freezing and thawing eggs since 2009. We have an incredible thaw survival rate. We have an incredible blastocyst formation rate, and we have live births. So I can share that with patients. I'm also very transparent and honest. And I say, listen, I can't guarantee that for you. I don't know what's going to happen when you come to use your eggs in the future, but I can tell you that if you come here, you are choosing a place with extensive experience with this particular technology. I just cannot overemphasize the importance of choosing the right lab when you are doing egg freezing because it is so technologically advanced. So advocate for your care and ask those tough questions and get those answers and make sure that the clinic that you're freezing your eggs is right for you. I hope this video is helpful. Egg freezing is an incredible opportunity, and it's important to investigate if you're thinking about it at all. Have a consult, ask your questions. It doesn't mean that you have to do egg freezing, but if you learn about it, you can really make an educated decision for what's right for you. And if you do decide to do egg freezing, be careful about which clinic that you go to and ask your questions. This is your future that you're thinking about, and you really want to choose the right clinic for you. Like this video if you learned something, comment with questions that you have, and be sure to subscribe to this channel so you can continue your learning and stick around for more videos.